Okay. Hi. First and foremost, before I go into my testimony, I just want to start off by saying, Diallo, you know I love you. I'm so sorry it took me so long to do this testimony, but I'm sending it now. I'm sorry. I love you lots. But so my name is Simone, and I took the trip to Ghana in November of 2017. We went right around Thanksgiving. We left November 16th, and we came back on the 26th of November. I'll start by saying that my background is not African. I do not have African roots, should I say. Well, I mean, I know that we're all descendants, but I can't trace my roots directly back to Africa. I was born in the U.S. I've been raised in the U.S. My parents were born and raised in the U.S. So before I moved to the DMV, I didn't have much experience with African culture. So moving to the DMV and being around more of a heavier population of African people and making friends in this area exposed me to more of the culture. But before, I'd say maybe 5 years or so ago, I was pretty green. So with me saying that, with me going on this trip, it was something that I wanted to do to kind of try to reconnect with my roots, because I know that a lot of us are African descendants, but we have not been to the motherland. We might not have any direct roots or friends or anything like that, or any other exposure. So when I saw this trip, it was something that I knew that I wanted to do. All of the information was laid out, the package, the travel, the date range made sense, and it was something that I wanted to be a part of. So I would say that as far as communication was great. I reached out to Diallo after he posted the information online, and I wanted to be a part of it. I paid my deposit. Everything went smoothly with payments and everything. He was very responsive, very vocal, and letting us know exactly what we needed to get in order to make sure that the process leading up to the trip was pretty smooth, right? So I'm the type of person where I'm a planner. I need to know dates, I need to know times, I need to know where we're going, what we're doing, all of that. I need the rundown and everything. And so reaching out to Diallo leading up to the trip, he was very good at giving us the rundown, like the temperature or weather in that area, travel information, what to expect as far as food, where we were going to be staying, addresses, all of that information. He was on point. But one of the things that he said was that it was kind of hard to put everything about the trip in writing. And even though he laid out everything in writing in an email form for everyone to kind of feel comfortable and kind of get an idea of what we were getting into going into the trip, I understand now, after going on the trip, exactly what he meant, because it was such a full trip. It's hard to put exactly what he worked out and all of the thought and effort and everything that he put into planning this trip and piecing it together into writing. It's just one of those things where it's just a full trip. You have to go to experience it. And once you're in it, then you understand exactly how tedious and how thoughtful and how long it had to take to put something together the way that he put it together. As far as travel arrangements, getting our visas and everything, he had us, in email, spelled out exactly what we needed to submit, what days, what times, which monies were going to where, and it was a very good communication process that he had. As far as exploring Ghana, that was it was done very well. Diallo has been to Ghana so many times now that he's built quite a rapport with some of the natives that are there, and it makes things a lot easier when you travel to a country and you're foreign and you don't know the customs and the language and even just the different nuances in the way that people connect to each other in their country. It's easier when you have someone there that can help you navigate that, because for some of us, it can be a culture shock. For me, it's definitely a culture shock. I'm American, and even though I have friends of African descent, it can still be, a little bit different than what you're used to, but just having someone there to guide you and walk you through and communicate and kind of take the reins on that is something that's very important, and it's something that Diallo has definitely worked hard to put together in Ghana. I really, really respect and appreciate the way that he connects with the natives that are there. He has a team and he treats them like family. It's like leaving the U.S. and going to Ghana and having a new family, having an extension of your family. That's how he treats everyone that's around him. So that was definitely helpful. As far as cultural immersion, again, it was a very full trip. Like, we got a chance to visit a lot of the museums. We got a chance to meet Queen Mother. We got a chance to meet some of the chiefs in Ghana in the area that we stayed in Koforidua, and it was definitely an eye-opening experience. It was something that I've never witnessed before in real life, and it was very heartwarming to go to a country and not be sure, exactly what to expect. I mean, people can tell you, okay, boom, 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 this day, this time, we're going to do this, and this, but until you actually get there and you experience it for yourself, it's different when you're in the moment, right? So getting there and being able to have such a warm reception and being able to connect with some of the natives in the way that we were able to was very heartwarming. It's an experience I think that everyone needs to have, because with us most of us having roots in Africa, it's nice to be able to go back and feel like you're welcome. At least for me it is. I've never been. This was my first trip going to the motherland. I didn't know anybody else on the trip. I didn't know anyone in Ghana, and it's nice to go over and feel like you're welcome and feel like you're home in a sense. So the cultural immersion was great. Like, you get the education, and then you also get the party. You get the turn up. You get to go and travel around to the different cities. Like, we did Koforidua, we did Pakwasi, we partied, shopped, and ate in Osu. And it was a very, very full trip. I have no other way to describe it other than being a very full trip. It's very family friendly. Like, our group was diverse enough where we had people that were a little bit younger than me, like earlier to mid-20s, and then some of the older or elders of the group were like grandmother age, like in their 60s, and everyone fit, everyone felt welcome. There were a lot of events and things planned throughout the entire 2 weeks that we were there for everyone to have a good time and feel like they were welcome. So you get a little bit of the education as well as the party, the turn up. So that was also done very well. We got a chance to go and visit the waterfalls. We got a chance to go to the beach. We got a chance to go to the markets that were there. And even though Diallo had laid out such a tight list of things for the entire 2 weeks that we were there so that we could get the most out of the trip, he was very flexible also, and hearing if people wanted to, kind of divert from the plan a little bit, then he would work it out. We figured it out, and he made it happen. So it was just very, 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 very well done. As far as food, another one of my concerns when I travel all the time is, how's the food going to be? I'm a foodie. I like to eat. So with me being pescatarian, there's a lot that I don't eat as far as meat goes. So when I'm traveling, I'm always kind of, a little bit nervous and anxious sometimes, knowing, what am I going to be able to eat? Am I going to be taken care of? Am I going to enjoy the food experience? And that was all worked out. It was just fine. The food was great, and I really just enjoyed the experience. I didn't know Diallo very long, but just seeing the way that he interacts with people here in the U.S. and also in Ghana, it made me want to take the trip. I felt comfortable enough to go with the team, even though I didn't know anybody there. The only person that I knew there was Diallo, but it's not like we would see each other every day. I would, when I see him, we would talk and stuff like that. But I took a chance in taking the trip, and it was probably one of the best trips I've ever taken in my life, and I absolutely look forward to going back. It's a trip that I think that every person of African or African American descent should take. If you've never been to the motherland, I would suggest that you find a trip to take. And if you are in an area or willing to travel and take a trip that Diallo has planned, I would absolutely recommend it, because he is probably one of the best people to do a trip like this, of this magnitude. Like the lodging was well done, the food was well done, all of the events that we did were well done, the education aspect of it was well done. It was just a very, very, very good trip. I look forward to going back. I don't think I'll be able to do 2019, but maybe 2020. But I would just say that the trip was worth every bit of the money that I paid for it, plus some. Like, I would recommend it to anyone. That's it. Diallo, I love you. Thank you so much for planning such a great trip. And if anyone else is curious about going and experiencing something like that, I would suggest that you do. I think that it would behoove you to take a trip like that, especially if Diallo is going to be the guide. So that's it. Bye.